and that can never be applied to the study of economics, but I do really appreciate the introduction. I'm so happy to be here. As Dan mentioned, I attended Wellesley College, and while I was there, I actually did double major in economics and religion. I have since met exactly one other person who had that same double major from Wellesley, and we like to joke that we were uniquely qualified to be door-to-door Bible salesmen. And that was it. There was nothing else. But I have to say, I think I'm in maybe the right room with that double major here today. So thank you so much for inviting me. I'm from ITR Economics. We're based out of New Hampshire. We also have a satellite office in Dallas. New Hampshire, I was going to say, is about an hour north of Boston, but we need to put us on the map. It's not quite Maine, not quite Canada, but very, very close to where so I'm very excited to be here with you today and to delve a little bit deeper into what's going on right now in the economy. The more you turn on the news, the more you hear about, are we in a recession? Are we going into a recession? What's going on right now? So I really want to bring a little bit of clarity because I can't change the picture. None of us in this room, we can't change what's going on. But as long as we know what's coming next, where we are and where we go from here, you can make the best decisions for your companies, for your families, for your employees, and really be ready. Good, bad, or ugly, whatever's coming next, just knowing about it is really more than half the battle. What I want to tell you about is that accuracy rating. Essentially, this is my I guess, hopefully be convincing you that you should stay in this room for the next 90 minutes, but there is some good information here because I'm going to give you a lot of forecasts, and hopefully you can take them and implement them into your business, into your decisions. But without knowing a little bit more about me and about my firm, I wouldn't expect you to just take this at my word. So we've been in the business a long time. As Dan mentioned, it was 1948 that our founder saw the Great Depression and said someone should have seen this coming. Someone should have been shouting from the rooftops, something is coming, get ready. And so he developed a formula essentially to be able to do that, to see what's coming next and to know when to buckle down and really get ready for some times. So this is our most recent forecast accuracy results for the year 2019. A couple of them are still being finalized, but nothing will be too far off of the numbers that you see here. Essentially, that far right-hand column, that percentage represents how close we came. If you heard me speak 1 year ago and I told you what 2019 would do, well, how close was I to getting it right? This is my report card. So again, that's the big picture. GDP is such a huge number, $19.2 trillion. I want to start to peel back the onion and say what's actually in that bucket if we look at GDP. And in fact, about 2/3 of it is actually driven by consumer spending. People like you and me going out buying goods and services. I think many people in this room are probably a little more interested in that red wedge, the business investment side of things. And I want to turn now just to the industrial economy. So this is made up, about 3/4 of it is manufacturing activity. The rest of it is mining, primarily oil and gas, and a little bit of utilities in here in this total as well. And I do want to hopefully convince you that this applies to you too, here, even if you're very, very locally based. Even if you don't have that big global or nationwide outlook. I'm showing just the growth rates for US GDP compared to both Kansas and Missouri gross state product. And those growth rates are really moving, not in perfect lockstep, but directionally certainly moving the same way. So I've looked at the trends, and I hope, I will call out some very local metrics as I have them, but I hope to convince you that that big picture, those trends, they really are feeding through even here in the local economy in this area itself. So that's a brief overview. I'll get back to many of those topics in a little bit, but a little housekeeping first. And this is when I have to lock the doors. I knew someone's making a run for it because the map comes out. So hopefully that's all we'll lose. But my promise to you is if you bear with me for the next maybe 10, 15 minutes, you are going to have a very powerful tool that you can take back to your company that you can use as a lens to look at not just your own sales data, but the economy as a whole, your sector, your industry as a whole, and start to tease out that story, even without someone like me to kind of show the numbers. So we take that rate of change calculation, we can see where we are right now. Maybe we have a 3 to 6 month window into the future, at least directionally, if we compare the 3/12 to the 12/12. But there's an even further looking view that we can get, and that's by using data, again, that actually exists, that is out there in the world right now. For example, I'm taking our ITR leading indicator. That's something we calculate every month. We get that information from a number of different sources, so we're not doing our own survey. But we calculate. We say all of these things tend to happen before say, industrial production response or business spending response. In this case, that blue line is just some sample industry data. We're taking the 12-12 rate of change, and we see that it correlates pretty well to that green line. But there's a little timing mismatch. So in fact, if I take the peak of each cycle and compare it to the next peak, the trough of each cycle, I find that there's about a 1-year gap from peak to peak, from trough to trough. And that's the average that I see over each of these business cycles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold my blue line steady, my industry data, and I'm just going to shift that green line right along my x-axis. So now I have a much closer correlation. The peaks align with the peaks, the troughs align with the troughs, but even before I do any forecasting, make any assumptions at all, I have a 12-month look into my future. Well, with that, thank you very much. Please, and I will stick around to have